Hi friends! Haley here with 5-Minute Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me again as I continue my Flora and Fauna series themed flows. Today, we will be flowing in honor of the reptiles and amphibians in our life. All those squirmy, creepy, crawly, slimy things that live in this world and often get overlooked and underappreciated. So please join me today, starting off in child's pose. Take the toes together and the knees wide. Sink the hips deep down to the heels. Expand the arms long out in front of you and press the crown of the head to the ground. Or I guess the forehead. Not necessarily your crown. Might be a little tricky. Take a few moments here to breathe deep into the hips. Really thinking of expanding the space in your pelvic bowl. Rise up to create some gentle movements. Start out by just going forward and back. Sort of a more active cat-cow. Then you can start spinning around, doing some hip circles over the knees, one up one direction and then the other, really opening up the hip sockets. Amphibious poses can be pretty intense, so we want to warm up the hips and the low back and make sure we're ready to do them. This flow is definitely going to get into the hips and low back, so we want to make sure those joints are warmed up to avoid any injury. Once you've done a little free flow with your hip circles, come back to your knees and we're going to transition into frog pose. Frog pose can be kind of intense, so take your time, be gentle. I'm going to take the knees wide, keep them at 90 degrees, so the shins will be parallel to the sides of your mat. And if you need to use an additional padding or some sort of cushioning under the knees, feel free because this can hurt sometimes. Expand forward, keeping the hips above the knees, supporting the upper body with the arms, the elbows. For comparison, here's what it looks like from another angle. See, there's a straight line between the knees and the hips on both sides. So you want that 90-degree angle in the knees. You want to flex the feet. You don't want to come too far forward. You want to think more of pushing the tailbone back, but you don't want to go into a child's pose type squat. So really opening up the inner parts of the thighs, the hip sockets. Remember to breathe in this pose. Frog pose. Mandukasana. Remember to breathe. You've probably had enough. So on your next breath, gently transition out of the pose by inching forward, releasing the hips, stretching the legs out long behind you. If you need to give your legs a little shake to loosen up the stretch, it's a good time. And since that is such an intense pose, I'm going to spend the next minute or so in crocodile pose, taking a rest. So in a supine position, a prone position, laying down on your belly, extend the knees and the legs and the feet out long. Take the arms, fold it above you, rest your head on your hands. You can place one ear to the side or the other ear to the side, or if you want to place your forehead to the backs of your hands, you can do that as well. Just take some time in crocodile pose to let the blood flow to your hips, let all that energy release and get back into your body, and breathe. Let your lower body relax. On your next breath, raise the head. Take the hands underneath the shoulders and press the chest up, rolling the shoulder blades down the back, pushing the feet into the bottom into the mat for cobra pose. You can do a rolling cobra, inhaling on the expansion, exhaling as you press the head back down. Roll the shoulder blades back, press the body up, and exhale down. If you want to take the arms out wide, roll the shoulder blades back, press into a deeper cobra, and exhale down. Press back up and down. Inhale one more cobra and exhale down. Place one cheek to the mat. Take a moment to rest, but not too long. Take the feet to the sky by bending the knees. You might need to widen the knees a little bit to make this work. Take the hands under the shoulders one more time and press the upper body back, extending the neck and the head, trying as close as possible to bring the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. King Cobra pose. Once again, bend the knees, extend the upper body. To make the pose easier, you can widen the knees. To create more of a challenge, you can bring the knees together. And exhale, release the pose, coming back down to crocodile pose. If only life were to just be sunning on a rock. Continue to breathe. And when you're ready, gently transition to a seated position. Thank you so much for taking the time to appreciate our underappreciated animal friends in this reptile-themed flow. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.